Ladies and gentlemen, Hex community of all ages, hey, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube for this week's Hex Update Saturday, and today being December 20th, 2015, that being a Sunday. As yesterday, I just ran out of time, I had to go out of town for Christmas, and Christmas is coming up quickly. Anyway, on with the update. Not much to talk about this week here. We have we have a Style Points deck here by Dino. It's pretty interesting. I remember a long time ago when set 1 was only set 1. I was trying to mess around with Infernal Professor and it just didn't really have a place being only in set 1, but it looks like he's come up with a decent idea to use it here, and he goes in to say that the decks that he creates here aren't going to be super competitive or tier 1, kind of like some of the decks that I create. He's just all about having a fun, eccentric way of building decks and just playing with them and having fun with it, not trying to smash the meta, if you will. So pretty interesting deck. Another deck here was it's called Infamous D, the deck of Destiny, and it was basically two people, Wordle here, and Infamous Neo. They kind of had the same idea of a mono diamond deck, and they both took way different approaches. And it come out to be that they kind of just put their ideas together and came up with this particular deck here. And it actually looks pretty decent. I suggest you check it out. Of course, I'll link it in the description below so you guys can look at it. But Wordle here goes on to say about deck building that doing it by yourself is difficult because you seem to always tend to go back to the way that you think, and it's tough to get outside of your own box, if you will. So he says that it helps quite a bit if you have other people to bounce ideas off, because they may have just a tiny bit different way of thinking that might spark an entirely different tangent on the path that you're going with your actual deck there. So if you can build and bounce the ideas off of another player or teammate or whatever you have access to, that that is only for your benefit to be able to do that. So it's pretty interesting. Then he goes on to talk about down here in the bonus section, Rise of the Phoenix, and it says that some quick talk in the meta in general, there was a lot of gnashing of the teeth even just a few months ago, that the Cressida's Ramp and the Azura's Cannon Dominance was proof that the damage gem was too oppressive and would ruin the metagame. Goes on to say here that those two decks there probably are the top two decks in the top tier right now, but it seems like some people with tier 2 decks possibly are taking advantage of the somewhat slowness of that damage gem there and are winning games. High games too, our tournaments, like the I don't know how you pronounce his name, Iglov's winning Winter Moon control deck from the December 6th IQ. He just goes on to say that just because they have the top tier deck doesn't mean you can't build something that exploits that that damage gem takes a little bit longer to get out, and if you have a quick explosive deck, maybe you can come in from underneath and actually win and kill them. So good article. Again, I'll link this one in the description too, so you guys can check that one out. What else we have? We have the Night of Bells event that's going to be starting tomorrow, and that runs through, what is that? Did they say January? When was that? How long does it run to? Where is it at? January 4th, yeah. So you got from tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, to January 4th, 10 a.m. Pacific. So plenty of time to get your rewards here. The Uncle Sparkle Staff, the Knight of Bells card sleeve, which is really cool. I really like that one. You get that one just by logging in. And then you have the Alternate Art Lyricist, and you'll get that just for joining a tournament. So pretty cool stuff. I know last year the Knight of Bells, I think that was the Adamantium Scrivener wearing a black top hat. Some of us have those sleeves, and so I think we even have some of the cards, I believe. I'm not sure. I think so. So yeah, easy to get those, not too bad at all. The Uncle Sparkle Staff card here, I don't think we talked about it yet, but it's a 6 casting cost, double threshold diamond ruby, 4/5 human troop. And its card text is exhaust a troop you control with cost 1 or less, and then you can exhaust a target troop. So pretty decent card, other than it's pretty expensive, but it's a couple slots here. Its weapon slot is the Sparkle Staff, and it says each of your cards named Uncle Sparkle Staff instead have, for 1 resource, exhaust a troop you control with cost 1 or less. Uncle Sparkle Staff deals 1 damage to target troop. Exhaust that troop. And then its robe is each of your cards named Sparkle Staff have, when Uncle Sparkle Staff enters play, create a random troop with cost 1 or less and put it into play. So pretty decent card if you have the right equipment on there, I think, for PvE. See what else we got here. Looks like we're bringing back another flashback draft, a 2-2-1 draft. They said they had an amazing turnout for the 1-1-1. We learned a lot from our tools and looked into resolving many issues that arose, and we wanted to run another party during the holidays. So I believe that this here is also going to be going on between December 21st and January 4th as well. And again, you'll get the Lyricist AA if you participate in these. I don't know if they said... Yes, you will get IQ tickets too. Also, it's just being a draft. You're going to get one if you go undefeated there. So 2-2-1. That was pretty fun. I did a lot of 2-2-1 draft when that first came out, so I'll probably do that one again. And they have just some facts and whatnot here. So, what else do we have? Then we have HEX update, mini presents. We gone over that. Okay, so this next weekend, unfortunately, it's on the weekend of Christmas. Some of us probably observe Christmas. Some of us probably don't. I, for one, do. So that'll be tough. I'm not gonna be able to. I might be able to play Friday night, maybe. Saturday night's a no-go. Sunday, so I have maybe 2 chances, and that's the last chance you're gonna be able to get the Exarch of the Egg, Quash Ridge Tusker AA cards. After that, it's going to be the new AA cards, the Minion of Yazukan and Crocosaur, starting in January. It'll be the end of January, actually. So then, obviously, next week's, like I said, Saturday night's going to be impossible for me because I do have a Christmas. So HEX Update Saturday, again, will not be next Saturday. It will be, maybe I'll do it Friday night. I should have time to do it Friday night. Maybe I'll do it Sunday again. I'm not sure yet. Friday will probably be a little bit easier to do depending on what's going on. So I don't like to do them late. Beforehand, that's fine. If I can just record it Friday and then just publish it Saturday, that'll be no problem at all. So what else we have here? We have another PvE spoiler, deployment orders forecasting cost artifact. And this has cost -1 in all zones for each troop you control. For 2 resources, sacrifices, draw 2 cards. Its slot is your deployment orders instead have this has cost -1 for each troop you control. Sacrifices, draw 2 cards. Those cards get cost -1. So pretty decent card. Again, I don't know, what's going to be great, what's not going to be great in PvE. We'll see. So pretty decent stuff. I said there's not a whole lot that was like hugely announced. Nothing much caught my eye in the forums other than like last week. Some people were talking about the shuffler being a little off. So I don't know exactly how HEX does their shuffling, but I just crafted a small program in C#, and basically it was just you tell me how many resources you are, what they are, how many troops, how many quick actions, how many basic actions. It's just real basic, doesn't take into account what thresholds you have, and what cards and whatnot. And I just I mashed it all together and shuffled it a couple different ways. People were talking about clustering of troops and shards and this, that, and the other thing. And I was using the same RNG that they use PRNG, and it never really failed. You always get somewhat of clustering. The more you tried to shuffle it, the worse the clustering got. So when I first would load up an array, that would just be top down. That would be like your hand, your deck basically coming out of the deck manager. Then it would take that and would just randomly pull cards and put them into another array list. Then I'd do that a couple different times and I'd reverse it. No matter what I did, it seems like the more times you shuffled it, the worse it got. So I don't know exactly how HEX does theirs, because some people do complain that there's clustering of resources and whatnot, but I didn't do like 10,000 tests or anything like that. But it seemed like the more it shuffled, the worse it got. So shuffling it one time seemed to give you the best results. Well, actually, I insert it and then shuffle it once. I would insert them randomly, then shuffle it once. That seemed to give the best results. Again, I don't know how HEX does it. I was just playing around with some stuff. It was kind of neat to see, but. So yeah, other than that, that's really the only thing that ever jumped out on the forums. Let's get to this week's winners. Again, Armies of Myth. Nobody really wants these cards, which I don't blame you. So we only had 5 people enter, and so all 5 of you will get one of your cards. It's just a matter of who got their first pick. So it starts off with number 1 being Desk, 2 Oaim, 3 Kaldheim, 4 Sismic, and 5 Old World. So you guys will get your cards. I'll get them mailed out as soon as the video is done here. And then for the weekly pack winner is called Heim. So congratulations to you guys. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, this I might have to change how I do. I'm not exactly sure yet. So we're gonna get rid of that, get rid of this, and pull this up here. I do like looking at HEX price. Unfortunately, I only look at it probably once or twice a week, and these things go, it's a daily stuff. So I just like to see what the daily winners are, and they do change from week to week drastically. But it looks like this week on this daily winner here we have Air Elemental. He's number 1. You know, Spearcliff Cloud Knight, Arcane Dreamcatcher, Amulet of Sun, Kindling Scar, and Crackling Vortex, Relentless Corruption. Not super high price. Crackling Vortex, you know, it's pretty decent. That's just the resource card that will give you 1 resource. Obviously gives you 1/1 along with 2 charges. So that's 700 platinum almost. That's pretty surprising to me, I think. And what you can't see here is I talk about platinum to gold ratio. It looks like currently 1 platinum will yield you 131 gold on average. So that's HEX price for this week. All right, let's get rid of these screens here. Let's get in game, crack this week's pack. See what we got. Maybe it'll be something worth getting. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe legendary. May have to be a decent legendary though. You know, so we'll see. All right, no go. So let's just go ahead and start with the commons. I still can't get over the way the new card opening animation looks. So anyway, we got for the commons: Giant Spider Spawn, Granite Giant, Smashadon, Snarling Ambusher, Resource Optimizing Infusion Device, Scraptooth Cackler, Throwback, Skewer, Windborn Disciple, Hatchery Priest, Ruined Web Infiltrator, and Lith Lyricist. For our commons and our uncommons, we have Pyrosoul Summoner, Mesa Lookout, Flaring Passions, and Mechanic. Why I always have a tough time saying this one here for some reason. Mechanic. It's like mechanized. There we go. Why would I want to say mechanic? Mechanized Demolisher. And for our rare, do we have anything worth anything? Woolsey Web at 3 casting cost, double Sapphire Threshold, 1/1. Basic 1-shot for 3 resources. This gets +1/+1 for each equal to target troops attack and defense. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. The other one is for 3 resources. This transforms into a copy of another target troop. So it's not a horrible card. It's just I don't know if I've seen it used much. I've tried to use it in sealed and draft, and it just doesn't work there. So I don't know. It seems like you have to put way too much into it, and it can just be thrown away. So I don't know. Anyway, that's week's pack. We'll put that away. Uncommon chest, stash that. So let me know what your top 5 picks are. Don't forget, next week will be the Primal Pack for December. If you want to let me know something else other than top 5 picks, be sure to do that in the comments down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these, be sure to click subscribe down below, and we'll have another video for you soon.